What is up, guys? It is your host with the most, Tristan Kalina. Welcome to a week in my pressure washing business. And if you are new here, I give you a digital hug throughout the entire screen. I am so happy you are here. Look, you're going to be seeing 3 jobs in this video. I can't broadcast every single job throughout this entire week. We did more than 3 jobs, but you will be definitely satisfied after watching this. And then also I'm going to be talking about how you can bet on yourself tactically so that you can get the ultimate success. I bet on myself 3 years ago, got the business to this point right now, and then also been able to invest into 7 rental properties, which just got valued over $1.5 million. Just a little bit of contextual rapport for you to just understand where I'm coming from. But either way, we are starting off with this 11,000 square foot monster house wash. It is a monster. It looks like Abraham Lincoln's property. Is ridiculous. But I'd be curious to know in the comments what you guys would price this at. I unfortunately can't give you that information. We had to sign an NDA, so I can't give you that. But this was the patios. This was the full house, the driveway, the steps, everything that you can imagine on the property, excluding the exterior windows, we washed. But look, I'm going to shut up for just a quick second. You guys enjoy some music, and I'll be back on the mic. We're kind of wrapping up this soft wash of the property, and basically, if you don't know what a soft wash is, it is applying sodium hypochlorite, a fancy word for bleach, onto the property. It's a distilled version of bleach, so you're not putting the entire percentage of bleach on it. But I did want to talk to you guys about how I initially started this business, because it's a risk, it's a bet on yourself. And I remember so many people, they were like, you're going to use your degree for that because I got a finance degree. You're going to do this. You're just going to spray water. And then I told them that I was trying to invest into real estate with it. And they just like comically laughed at that. They said, you think you could do that with this business? I'll tell you a little bit more about that. Do a day in my pressure washing business. We are out here today, full property wash. Let's get it. Yes, sir. Welcome to day 2 in my pressure washing business. Look, this is the full property wash. Exterior house, exterior windows, sidewalk, patios, pool deck. Yep, the full thing. But we got in there, it kind of in and out, really, just because of how small the property actually was. It was a $1,500 job. And we basically acquired this customer via a yard sign. Yard signs have been hit or miss as of recent, but it worked this time. I did want to talk about just if I can transcribe my journey within taking a bet on myself with this business or with real estate, whatever that may be. I think it comes down to the ultimatum of you want to do epic shit. Let's be real. Do you want to do epic shit? If the consensus is yes, then do epic shit. But then I also think that there's some sort of emotionality towards money in a way where somebody puts down a deposit and then they have this emotional tie towards money because it was very hard to acquire, quote unquote hard. But I think that when you, and this might be a hyperbole in a way, but if you become emotionless towards money, I think you ultimately win. So I'm just going to go down this thought process with you. It may be the harsh truth, but hell, it could help somebody. Because a lot of people are quick to bet on their sports team or their favorite hockey team or their favorite football team, but they won't bet on themselves. Why? And I kind of look at it from the opposing view of the fear of failure or the comfort zone where it's easier to stay, or just seeking external validity behind other people because, quite frankly, other people they don't know. You're literally talking to people that probably haven't taken that risk. So why do you need that external validity? Literally, like if you zoom out 500 million years, 500 million, this is another hyperbole, you're not going to be remembered. So, like literally nobody on this earth right now is going to be remembered. So do epic shit. It's really not that serious. Like whatever you're going through in your little bubble or your little world, it's really not that serious. You just think it's so serious because you've put in an amount of time or amount of energy into something and then maybe not get the result that you are inquiring about. But bro, this is business. 90% of the days suck for a logical reason because it's hard. That's why everybody doesn't do it. But what does betting on yourself actually look like? Because I also look at this in a way where, it's not guaranteed. I think that betting on yourself may not even become from a monetary perspective, but it's literally the sacrifices that you take towards building that business or starting that, whatever that is, that channel, etc. You need to walk alone if needed, cut people off that may not be coinciding within that goal, and then also being able to invest into the skill set that you aspire to have. Because ultimately you have to build enough rapport within yourself to be able to trust yourself wholeheartedly without seeking external validity behind other people. If you can do that on a consistent basis, then the dispositive of that will be extremely useful. And ultimately, you'll probably get the payoff that you actually want. Because nobody can take away that from you. The confidence that you build, the proof that you build. If you just stack that up on a long enough horizon, you win. And I look back at that, and it's just the little things, man, like genuinely the little things that you can do to build rapport within yourself. Just waking up on time, going to the gym, doing the shit. And I think you'll be in a better spot. Either way, let's go to day 3. That's it, guys. House wash complete. Platinum property. Full property wash complete. Let's get it, baby. We are rolling. It's that springtime. It's that springtime. Yes, sir. It's that springtime. Everything's good. Let me kind of give you a look real quick. Boom. Right up me. Boom. Looking pretty good, man. Hey. Let's go. Yes, sir. Woke up and had to hit the squats. Just setting the tone off right for the day, but let's get it. What's up, guys? Job, whatever of the video it is. House wash, just upsold them on the windows because they need to get cleaned. because they need to get cleaned. We're here. It's a beautiful weekend day. We got to work on the weekends now because we're busy. But let's roll. Look, this is day 3 of the video. I did mention how you can upsell at the current job, which I really think that this is under-leveraged or underused in so many facets of this. But look, you are a problem solver for the customer. I went over there for just the house wash. I had scheduled this months before, but I noticed the windows were dirty. I showed them that they were dirty. I just wiped my finger on the windows. I said, hey, look, we could get this done. Just tick on like an extra $250 for these windows, whatever it was. I was going to be there for like an extra hour. Whatever it was, but I think the homeowner actually appreciates that, as well as you could just solve the problem for them because they want a clean house. And maybe they didn't realize that you did the service, or maybe they just didn't know it was dirty. But if you could just broadcast that to them briefly while they're outside, or you're just meeting with them at the current job site, I think that it's really, really powerful. Because let's say you did this just a few times, you stack these up throughout the entire year, you'll just look back and be like, damn, that creative way or that creative usage of problem solving really added an extra 10 or 20 or 30, 40, $50,000 to the revenue. That's stuff you didn't have before. Think about it. That is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50,000, maybe even more that you didn't have before just by telling them. And this is the exterior window cleaning process. I really love the system that we have with the Tucker system and the water-fed pole. Basically, with the water-fed pole, you're just scrubbing the window and then taking it off, rinsing all that debris after. It goes up 30, 35 feet. It's a really useful tool. If you're in pressure washing or whatever, it's a unique service, to be honest. But the look of a clean window makes that wash just, it's a cherry on top. It makes everything just pop. But look, one of my buddies just landed a $60,000 job, and I'm going to go over it with him. Okay, one of my buddies landed a $60,000 concrete job, basically going to just broadcast the call so that he can give you applicable tips on actually how he landed this job. Check this out. I've got you on the YouTube right now. Alright? I'm telling the YouTube that you land this big concrete job, and can you tell them how you landed this through the camera?
Wait, you got me on? You taping right now?
I'm taping right now, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So how I landed it was actually a website lead. So got a notification. I got a message from my website. Followed up from them, and then I would say about a week after that, closed on the deal, man. So just following up. I take pride in my website. I think my website is pretty good. And so I would say that had a lot to do with it. We have a lot of photos. And it just looks real professional in my opinion. And I think that was a big factor in closing the deal. And like I said, I would say about a week later, close the deal. And as of right now, it's the biggest job to date. So.
Nice. And then also, you mentioned to me that you do a presentation when you send a bid. Yeah, so I do. I've come to realize that it's all about value, the value that you bring to your customers. So in my proposals, I always include my insurance. I include a lot of photos. I include reviews, just to show the value that we can bring to the customer. And I think that's done very well for us. Elite, dude. Thank you. Yep, I just wanted to call you and broadcast this onto the camera. How was last night?
Last night was good, man.
Look, guys, this is the end of the video. Winners win, losers lose, and if you want to win, definitely subscribe, as I'm posting every Tuesday and Friday at 5:15 Central Standard Time. You guys are the best. I love you guys. Keep crushing, as I know you guys will, and go make that money. Peace.